I had an apartment in Malaysia for 2 years, but I had to be in and out because of the visa. So I think I have spent around a year myself there. Then going to Singapore for just to reset the clock for a bit. Then I think I left to Bali. For me, the culture was very different in Malaysia. I love the people. I think they're amazing. You could feel that there is quite a lot of obedience. That's one of the things that comes to mind. And that's due to the religion that is there. So there might be advantage and disadvantage. So people are very polite, very kind. At least that's what I have experienced. On the other hand, compliant. So if something is being asked, they would most likely follow. And I think that piece has been also seen quite a lot when it comes to the restrictions, to the pandemic. So good or bad, I have lived in Pulau Penang, which is an island. Beautiful place. I was facing the ocean. The rent that I was paying was $300 or something like that in a 2-bedroom apartment, which at that time was amazing. And I was next to Hilton Hotel in the 13th floor. Beautiful views, beautiful sunrises, beautiful balcony. I remember I really intended to make Malaysia my home. I was going very often to Kuala Lumpur, which is beautiful. I love it. I was driving from Pulau Pinang to get furniture because I was organizing my apartment there. I remember IKEA being in Kuala Lumpur, being able to get stuff for the apartment. The place itself is really easy to live in. People are very kind. Religion is very different. The food is very different. So you have to have the taste for it. I was not really blending with the local cuisine. That was one of my things. The language, obviously, but I think there was quite a lot of English, not everywhere, but quite a lot. What I like about Pulau Pinang is that it has hills and beaches at the same time. The sea is nothing to be compared to Mexico and Dominican Republic. It's very easy to be spoiled after Dominican Republic and Mexico. It's very hard to find such beautiful beaches in places that are undeveloped, that are not small islands. So there is something to bear in mind that there are beaches, there is a sea, but you cannot expect the beauties that you could see in Caribbean. Places that are worth the attention in Malaysia, Langkawi. I have never been myself, which I really regret because that's a place that my friends who were sailing showed me, and that looks amazing. That's one of the places that I would want to see if I go there back again. I appreciated the heritage of Georgetown, which is the main city on the island. I think it's a UNESCO heritage as well. And then the landscape, there are beautiful hikes on the island that you can go, and there's a pretty lush nature, green mountains, hills. You have the historic vibe of the city. You have all the three cultures, which is a beautiful thing to have. Plus, you're right at the sea with beaches. So I feel like that combination really was what attracted me to the place. Plus, very easy cost of living. And there was a lot of new construction and new buildings. So I imagine it kept expanding, and it's a really easy place to live. Plus, you have 4 hours to Kuala Lumpur, and then you can even go to Singapore and all the other connections that I mentioned. So I think it's a very strategic and nice place to be if you just want to be easy on life. The infrastructure was great. I feel like everything was working, which is what I really appreciate about it. Internet connections, all the services that you would expect to work, they were, and the living cost was very low. I understand that's why Malaysia is very much on the radar for many international travelers and people who are looking for a second home. It also has a program, Malaysia My Second Home. I'm not sure if that's still running, but there was a possibility. And it's pretty well connected. If you want to go to Bali, it's right next to Singapore. So if you want to be in a completely different world, you can take a bus or flight and you're right there. You're also closer to places like Australia, so you could keep exploring that area, which is pretty convenient, I would say. One thing that really stood out for me in Pulau Penang is that there are three different religions. You have Islam, you have Hinduism, and you have Buddhism. Buddhism mainly Chinese and Thai people, Hinduism Indian, and the Malay, they are mainly Islamic. The beauty, what I found beautiful in it is that usually in the world there's a fight over religion. And this is a little island, and that there are three different religions at the same place. And I asked, there's no Uber, but the alternative of Uber. there. How do you guys make it that the religion doesn't cause problems? Because in a year I haven't seen any friction between one or another. And he told me, well, we keep the religion at home. We don't bring it to the streets. Everybody has their place for it. So you have beautiful mosques, you have beautiful temples, and it's all in the same area. So I think that's very unique and beautiful to see that the religion itself is not the problem. If you put it all together in one place, the people will find a way to live with each other. So I think that's something that really stood out for me and that really stayed in my mind. The second thing that I noticed and I remember till today is I was listening to the radio in my car when driving, and there were such a positive messages coming out from the national radio to support the humanity, personal growth, really guiding the people in the right direction in such a beautiful way that I was surprised because I have never seen anything like it in Europe or in US. So that's another thing that really stayed with me for quite a long time. Well, till today. I'm Jacob. I've spent over a decade living across countries and cultures asking one simple question. Is there a better place to live? 10 of 10 real estate was built for people who just don't want to buy a property. They're looking for a place that supports who they are becoming. We don't sell homes. We match souls with personal paradises.